Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm restarting my video or if I'm resuming it, so I'm just going to introduce myself again. Hi everyone, my name is Haley Osborne, and today we are going to be addressing the skills gap. The skills gap is something that is very prevalent in the United States economy currently. And we're going to be addressing the ways that us as instructors can kind of open opportunities and provide resources for our students to inspire them and motivate them to develop these skills that are most needed in the workforce today. So a little about me. I graduated in December of 2018 from App State. I got my bachelor's in business administration. My major was in management. I worked as an operations intern for Speedway this past summer, and I'm currently an assistant manager at Sherwin-Williams in Mocksville. So back to the PowerPoint, there is currently a discrepancy between the skills U.S. workers have and the skills required by U.S. businesses to remain globally competitive. This quote is a recent quote. I derived it from the Society for Human Resource Management. I have a couple more quotes that pertain to the topic. According to the World Economic Forum, the United States does not have the most skilled labor force. Finland does. The United States does not have the most advanced vocational training either. Switzerland does. 62% of executives believe that they will need to retrain or replace more than a quarter of their workforce between now and 2023. That is alarming for me to hear. I'm not sure where this information came from. I'm not sure about the survey size. Either way, it doesn't surprise me that this information was given, but it is still very alarming. It is predicted that by 2020, 77% of jobs in the United States will require technology skills, and there will be more than 1 million more computing jobs than applicants to fill them. This quote comes from Bridging the Skills Gap, Corporate Citizen magazine. I definitely, I mean, that's a few months from now. I definitely agree with this quote. Most of, hold a second. My job relies on computers to get anything done, besides manually moving around paint and pushing it out to the customer's car. So if we didn't have computers and we didn't have the skills to operate our computer systems, we wouldn't function as a company. So we're going to talk about the talent gap. Talent gap is visible in the trades, middle skilled jobs, and high skilled STEM jobs, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs. The most lacking skills: data analytics, science, engineering, healthcare, carpentry, plumbing, welding, machining, and manufacturing. So this is a pretty exhaustive list of trades and sectors of the economy that are lacking skills. More than 6.7 million jobs are open in the United States right now. So that's a lot. Nearly 250,000 jobs are in the construction industry, and more than 450,000 jobs are in the manufacturing sector. 940,000 available jobs are in the leisure and hospitality industry, and 1.27 jobs are left unfilled in the education and health services industries. And this information is compiled and came from the Skills Gap 2019 by the Society of Human Resource Management. Adecco Staffing, they are, I'm not sure if you're all familiar with them, but they are a very credible, and they are actually a global staffing firm. And we're going to spend the next few slides talking about their study. They conducted a recent poll of 500 senior executives. 92% of them thought that Americans aren't as skilled as they need to be. 92%, 500 senior executives. 44% surveyed think that Americans lack soft skills: communication, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Just going to stop for a minute here. I think that as instructors, these soft skills are definitely something that we can equip our students with in the classroom, and we can help our students build on these skills in the classroom with there are a lot of ways that we can do this through discussion and through team projects, through team assignments, just making them work in teams so that they can develop these soft skills. I think it's very important. 22% thought that workers lack technical skills, 14% thought that employees lack leadership skills, and 12% of executives thought that workers lack software skills. So according to the poll, this is kind of reiterating what we just previously talked about. And this is just a general question that kind of focuses on these executives' maybe opinions and their just hands-on, what they're seeing in the workforce, how it's affecting them and their company. So what U.S. industries do they see most affected by the skills gaps? Finance, leisure and hospitality, construction, healthcare, engineering, professional services, technology, manufacturing. So we're seeing a pattern here. The Society for Human Resource Management listed all of these jobs, trades, and sectors of the economy. And we're seeing that pattern come up again when you ask these executives of these companies where their skills gaps are, like what's most affected. So you have different perspectives kind of saying and touching on the same thing here. So it's kind of more concrete evidence that the skills gap is very prevalent in our society today. During the poll, the Gap Adecco staffing poll continued. 89% of the 500 executives surveyed think that the corporate apprenticeship or training programs could help alleviate the skills gap. I promise you guys that nothing is going on outside. Everybody's safe and fine. I just want to say I told them I was doing my presentation right now, but somebody bought a new pistol, so they're having fun. Why do executives think businesses are not implementing these training programs? Not enough personnel, lack of interest from employees. I think the executive team doesn't think it's a priority and think that it's because of the cost of development. So here's some more information that I found. A bunch of small businesses in June 2018 gathered together and they went to talk to the House of Representatives, and they held a hearing that addressed the skills gap in the small business sector of the economy. And it was noted that 88% of those hiring or trying to hire reported few to no qualified applicants for vacant positions. I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to not go over my time. According to the American Enterprise Institute, there are 7 million men currently missing from the workforce. The female labor force participation rate has declined 6% since 2000. 16 to 24-year-olds are neither in school nor working. That is alarming. So I compiled all of the solutions from the hearing. Basically, what the consensus that all of these 4 or 5 small businesses in the House of Representatives came to was that it is important to target post-secondary education skill and certificate systems. So not all students want to go to college, and that's okay, but we have to provide them with resources that equip them with these skills that are needed in the workforce for them to have job security and to be prosperous and happy, and for also the economy to prosper as well. Develop partnerships among industry, educators, and policymakers, incentivize skilled employees to move, and use current VR technology for training purposes. Provide drug rehabilitation programs, contacting state and local government regarding concerns. What are businesses doing to close the gap? Vertex Pharmaceuticals is a business. They're a biotechnology company that develops medicines to treat serious diseases, and they employ 2,500 people globally. Vertex invests in STEM education to connect students to real-world opportunities through their educational journey. Through internal programs and community partnerships, they host students at a learning lab on their campus, and they support a summer camp. They connect students with Vertex employees. They offer paid internships to local high school students, and they award 2 4-year full scholarships annually. And so their lab is available to students, middle and high school students all year round. And they actually, I forgot to mention this, but they're headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts. So anybody in the area can come by, and they have mentors available on site, and just so many great opportunities for these kids. I think it's wonderful. Akamai Technologies is the world's largest cloud delivery platform. They employ more than 7,400 people, and they are one of the most highly distributed computing platforms, serving between 15 and 30% of all web traffic, with servers in only 130 countries. Wow. They focus their corporate citizenship initiatives on supporting excellence in STEM. So they target traditionally underserved students, and they work to improve diversity in STEM fields. And they have a 7-week immersion program called Girls Who Code, and it's for middle and high, or no, it's for junior and seniors in high school. And what it is it just provides them, they stay on, they have like a little campus for the students, and they all stay in dorms, and they just provide them opportunities and hands-on experience in the robotics lab, in their engineering department, in their coding department. And another amazing thing that this company does is they people that don't have much of an IT background, but they are passionate about technology and they want to learn more, and they're just hungry to learn this skill. They select individuals for these positions, but they spend 12 months training them. So they get to spend 12 months at Akamai on their campus, and they just train for 12 months. They get paid to train, and then they're hired when they're ready. So what can we do as instructors to address the skills gap? We need to assess the needs of our students. What are their passions and interests, and what is their aptitude and ability on particular subjects? We need to create activities that allow students to imagine themselves in work roles. So like field trips. And I guess an example that I could provide was, I know that the supply chain club at App State, they actually they go down to the Target distribution center in Newton, and they take them on a tour, and just branching out and bridging that line of communication between students and people in the community, people in these work roles that they can relate to and that they can connect with, that allows them to see themselves in that work role. And it allows them to develop a sense of identity with that work role, and it can inspire and motivate them to develop these skills. So that is so, so important. I can't stress that enough. Just bridging communication, getting the community involved, getting organizations involved. That's so, so important. And just basically cover the next part of the slide, providing them with experiences, resources, and role models that inspire and motivate them. Yes, so, so important. One last thing that I want to go over is, I was looking through the Belk Library website, and I found College and Career Readiness Guide for School Counselors. And I'll post the PowerPoint, and the link will be on the last slide. But some of these handouts, I want to emphasize the fact that we need to serve as liaisons in the school system. We need to be there for the student. We need to be there for the career development coordinator. We need to be there for the principal. We need to be there for the guidance counselor, and we need to just serve as a bridge. I'm so sorry. I would restart this PowerPoint. They're outside having a great time, but I just can't. I've done this so many times. It's driving me crazy. I'm so sorry. Job skills. Okay, so this book, I highlighted some of the assessment strategies that you can provide to your students to kind of help push them in the right direction when it comes to where their skills, inspirations, motivations are, and what sector of the economy, what jobs they would be interested in. And here's a list: pre-graduation needs assessment essay, job skills, job interview, decision making and career planning, resume, financial aid, choosing a college, common application in college, stress management, transitions, and career awareness. but this is definitely something I would check out. And these assessment guides, they're basically, I should have included some pictures, but if you go and check out the book on ASU Learn, the Bell Library website, you can see inside of the book where it provides you the instructor an outline of how to go over this and how to prep the students to do the assessment. And it goes over true false questions, step-by-step instructions. So it's really great. I'm so sorry, that last slide, I didn't explain that well, but I'm just going to leave this up here for a minute so you can see the different types of assessments that are available through this resource. And here is my works cited page.